Good morning and welcome to the Crypto Day Morning. Today's date, that comes in that of Saturday, the 23rd day of March 2019. All bets, trades of the like within each his own risk and their own reward. We'll take a look at Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Aid Coin. In today's video, so let's get started. What can we see amongst Bitcoin against the US dollar after the red down day? Is that price action continues to stay amongst this 18 average of highs. And since the breakout day on March the 16th, day number 7 of correcting that move, it even extended its gains a little further, thus this correction from that high. The volatility leaves a lot to be desired. For the high was 39.98 yesterday, and the low 39.62, almost a little less, or a little more than 36 basis points. About 40 basis points is 1%, almost. So this is almost a 1% day. And today's day is an inside day. An inside day, or an inside period, but in the daily chart it's that of the inside day. So when the high is lower and the low is higher than its previous. And the differential here, we see a low of 39.71 and a high of 39.97, differential of 26 basis points, just making a new low there as we can see. 26 basis points on about 40. Not much at all. Litecoin, on the other hand, it also is continuing to hold in within its 18 average on as well on the high side. It's been in a beautiful pattern, of course, of higher highs and higher lows, and an uptrend for going bad to late of last year, as the price actions went from the low 20s now to about 60. When we take a look at Litecoin against BTC, its price is in at 0.01509, or 1.5% of that of a Bitcoin. Also doing its same thing amongst its this 18 average in here. We take a look at the 4-hour term. We can see in here that after just resisting this 18 average in here, breaking down, or falling down rather, but not too much. It resisted the lows, but that's about all it did. And then getting above it. After this up move on the 8 a.m. hour yesterday, 3 periods consolidating the 18 average of highs from its move, and then up she goes. A little bit of price correction down as the 18 average newly starts to rise, and key areas I'm always look to be that for support. So 149 up to, well, basically everything in the 149 to 15. So 14.9% to 15% is the area I'd be looking for, that of key support. Now back to this key resistance area. It can go at any time back to it, but holding and staying above it. Shorter term, even going the hour, establishing levels of resistance. There we can see the move happening at about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning last night. And on the 15-minute time frame, just settling in. Let's move into AidCoin. Let's move on to the AidCoin next. And for today, it's right now up about 11.08%, but it's given back the vast majority of its gains already. Now, what do we know about this coin? Is that common for it to give back the vast majority of any intraday gains? I'll ask you that question. I mean, the answer is obvious. Now, within these white lines, or these lines, how many times do these lines have major, like right here, there's a good one, lines below? There hasn't been like any of them lately. I mean, these don't really count. So the story of this market is, you know it goes up, you know it goes back down fast. Any of these you can pick away at. Sell in this area up top, and then buy when it comes back. Sell in the area when it gets top, and buy when it gets back. Sell in here, buy when it gets back. Now it's selling in here, and buying when it gets back. Now, that's pretty much been the trend so far anyway. Switching over to the 4-hour, we can see it happen on a smaller extent here on March the 18th. This thing breaks above 1300, goes to 1626, and back down to where it came from. Yeah, I'd like to see it hold and stay above 1300, but actually, no, I'd rather it actually go down so I can fill my buy order for my last sale. So I'd rather go to the low 12s personally, but as far as the market's concerned, yeah, that's what I'd rather see. As of course, I did sell up along here, but I sold that previous high area right around here. Didn't sell anything above for the new one. And within the single hour term time frame, there we have it. It just happens fast. Just shorten it even some more, 15 minutes, and up fast, back down. There's not much time. There's a little bit of it. But we can see here it breaks out about 5:30 from a little under 13, going up to 18, and doing so at 7 o'clock. So a 1.5 hour journey. And now it's taken the journey back. At least that's how I'm seeing this so far. So again, within this market, we got all of these types of days. Not like they haven't happened before in the past or before in 2018. Here's some more early 2019. So how many of these lines do we see up and below? Here's one right here on December 21st, but there's a small line lower. But we have another significant resistance one on December 12th. And an interesting day on December the 6th. And if you think about this a little interestingly, I mean, this was almost copying what Theta did about a week beforehand, because on November 30th, Theta had a 3x move and gave it all back. On this day, the low was 580 and the high was 1600. Well, it's not 3x. Pretty darn near close, though. So that's giving it back really fast. And then even on December the 2nd, it does a little one of those again. Here's one of those lines down on November the 19th. And even November the 12th. But here we go again on October 27th, October 26th, October the 8th. Here's one of those nice line downs. Don't get too many of them. September the 6th last year. A few more down here as well. But, I mean, again, we could see on August the 30th last year. And back in here, it was just wild from this August 16th bottom, as there were those days to come back on August the 20th. 2 days later, again on the 22nd, again on the 23rd, again on the 24th, and then, of course, August the 30th. And before there, I mean, there's just so many of them. This one in here. These types of movements is like I'm looking at it before thinking, man, I got to get into plays like this. And it was after, of course, well after this move in December. Well, not really well after, because I bought in this lower bottom area in here somewhere. But after seeing these moves, I'm like, yeah, I think, and I might have even got, I think I might have got into it like later on December here, maybe, and maybe bought down. Hey, yeah, I did, because I remember buying after entering into the position. And so these are the moves that I like, and it's not stopping right now, and I'm not going to expect this to change too much. You can draw, it draws the 18 for you. There's the definition of where the trend is moving, but you just have to accept the fact that this market's going to make these sporadic up and down moves. However, in game theory, one of the things I like to talk about is exploit your opponent's weaknesses, minimize their strengths. This can be in pro hockey, boxing, just any type of game. It can be a game of cards. And in the game of trading, in the game on how this market moves, you want to exploit whatever weaknesses you can find. And whenever markets are unable to hold any of these gains, then you got to get your sell orders in place, decently above the 18 average of highs. And you got to be just ready to buy it back. And I mean, it's easier to be ready to buy it back because oftentimes when it happens, you got a significant period of time to buy it back. But if you're looking to sell, as we look back again on the 5-minute, you just have to be ready to go. And you have to maybe you have alerts ready. That's all fine and dandy. But do you want your alerts kicking in with a 6:05 alarm clock when you're in bed? I mean, well, depends. What, 3 o'clock if you're in Los Angeles. So it's I would rather not. I just let the sell orders hit because again I know that there is no rush in my buy orders. Yes, there can be a time where this thing might just have a phenomenal move, have an extreme amount of gains and hold it. But I think even if that happens, we're still going to get the line. Meaning, let's just assume it does its thing where the 18 average just it stays within it after its move. So let's just assume like this, and price action just trades within it. But the next one, it does it. So now it goes up. But then maybe it goes up even further. And this time when it goes up further, it has its sharp pullback, but then it does it like that or something. I think that's the way a market like this is going to have a good sustained individual move, an instant sustaining of it. Because again, every single time it's having these moves, it's coming back down to where it came from within the 18. I would like for one time, I don't know, I guess, because I always like my buybacks, but throwing that part aside, I guess I could say I'd like to see for it to have its move up and let the 18 start to rise with it in this type of manner in here. But again, I'm expecting most of these moves to repeat what I'm seeing so far today and so many of these other days to hit. And then again, just have your sell orders ready. I hope for your, I know I've been talking about this chart a lot, so I got to feel a few people are in it. So I'm hoping you're in the same situation that I was, where you had your sell orders hit, and now it's just a matter of placing new ones and getting buy orders back in. If you buy now after selling at whatever good price, say where I did at 1600 or higher, I mean, it's not the greatest, but it's an okay buyback now. I just think more times than not when I see it here, even though it just had a nice pump to 14.19, that there's a good chance that it's going to come back. Now, saying that, as I look at this, and let's reset the scale. Let's put this into, say, an hourly time frame. If the market is able to hold on the short term what it needs to, and most likely we would not need to see it at least bounce from there to make its higher lows, but somewhere in here with this newly rising 18, and then start to get above it, and then maybe we might be processing that next greater move of continuous days up, or maybe even a much bigger update for today, because this move might not be over. This could be a very successful correctionary phase. I'm just used to every single one of these that it's ever had, when it goes up quickly, to fail every single time and then to do its thing later. And that failure is success as far as my trading. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.